I wasn't always this big guy that you see on Instagram. This was me in 2019. I was just finishing middle school and going into high school. Now, I had already started working out about a year prior, and I started with 5-pound dumbbells, then made my way to 10, and finally hit the big boy weight at 25. In high school, however, I joined the track team as well as lifted weights at home. And as you guessed it wasn't very optimal since not only was I not eating enough, but I also did long distance. So it wasn't until the pandemic happened that we had to stay indoors. Thankfully for me, I was able to dedicate myself to lifting. And yes, like you guessed it, I would only do upper body and rarely lower. However, I tried doing the One Punch Man challenge, which consists of doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run. Now, I didn't want to do the run. I only did it like 2 to 3 times, but I stuck to the lifting because that's what I like doing. So I started eating more, and I even bought my first tub of protein. I was loving this. However, I wanted to take this to the next step, getting a gym membership. As I was scrolling through Facebook jobs, I came across this listing for walking dogs. I sent my application, got in touch with the lady, and started making some bank. $30 an hour for 1 hour a day. That's pretty good to me. Now that I had some money coming in, I was able to finally get that membership at Planet Fitness. After my first check, I told my mom if she could take me, and so we did. January 31st, 2021 was the date that I signed up for my first gym membership. Now, the next school year already started, and we had online school, but I had to at least get my first workout in, so after walking the dogs, I ran to the gym and hit my first chest session before my mom came to pick me up, and at that moment, that's when I knew this was for me. I fell in love. However, at first, I was inconsistent. If I could, I would take a bike that I had and bike to the gym. But then, a great idea came to mind. If we have online school and the gym has a Wi-Fi, why not just log into class and keep doing my workout while I'm at class? So that is exactly what I did. My old bike's tire kind of exploded, so I had to buy a new one. But after that, we was on. I would wake up at 5 a.m., eat some cereal or something, bike to walk the dogs for about an hour, and then spend 2 to 3 hours at the gym. I was living life. It felt like a second home even. Sometimes I would even spend 4+ hours in there, something I do not recommend. But I did. And that's how I spent my sophomore year of high school. Sadly, the dog walking job didn't last long, but I did get another job doing roofing. However, when junior year came around, school took up most of my time, so that meant that I only worked Saturdays, so my income significantly decreased. So I had to do something, and that's when I started working at churches. Now, I knew that once I started working, I wouldn't have time to go to Planet Fitness or change gyms even. And since my job was further away and the gym closed early, that's when I got my membership at Flex Gym on April 2022. Now, it was a bit pricey, almost $40 a month and a $70 sign-up fee. I was forced to ask my mom for some money, but when I first saw the inside of Flex Gym, I fell in love. Now, this was a real gym. I was so excited to finally do free weights and not that Smith machine. I met a bunch of cool, interesting people, and I finally got to see some anabolic steroids in real life. In fact, one of the big guys even gave me a free bottle of Anavar, and my mom kind of kept it for safekeeping, and I haven't seen that bottle since. However, seeing these guys lift such heavy weights motivated me to go even harder, and that's when I was finally able to hit a 225 bench, 315 squat, and a 405 deadlift. But I wanted more, so I kept training, going hard. I was doing a push-pull leg split, and I was determined to become the strongest member of my family. So with the help of free food I got at my shift at churches, the bulk was going crazy. Eventually, I moved to Little Caesar since it was a little closer to my home. But them carbs, that was all I needed. I got to hit an all-time PR of 365 pounds on the squat and 415 on the deadlift for 4. My peak weight was at 180 pounds, and that was just at my best, but my nutrition was pretty shitty, to be honest. Senior year came around, and I was still bulking and training hard. However, I started noticing I did get a little bit fat. So what is one way to justify losing weight? You guessed it. I started looking for competitions. However, I was still broke as a joke, a lot, and it required a lot to go out and compete. Thankfully though, my father, who was my inspiration and the one who got me into the gym, found me a competition in Mexico City, where he lives, and I was on. I started my cut a month before my competition since it was very easy for me to lose weight. All I had to do was just up the protein intake and lower the carbs and fats and saturated foods, all that junk food. And yeah, it was hard. I was starving most of the time. I had no energy, but I was losing weight. I was looking leaner by the day. And in May 4th, I took my flight to Mexico City, and well, the rest is history. You guys can see the video on the play card above. And yeah, I ended up placing 4th, sadly, but that's not what matters. What matters is that I stepped on that stage and I did my best. So I got some experience out of that. And for those wondering about the next competition, I'm planning on doing the next show on February 29th at the Arnold Amateur in Columbus, Ohio. So if you want to follow me along in the journey, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comment section your thoughts or any video ideas that you'd like to see leading up to the competition. If you want to support me directly, you can hit the link below and get your E-Clan Trent Hard Anabolic apparel. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Much love, and on to the next one, guys. Peace.
I mean, I guess I'm a pretty sick guy.